Hey, Hutba here to talk about the brand new Planar Ornament sets coming to Honkai style Rel in 2.5. No relics this time, just Planars. One is a supportive set and one a niche DPS set that may be foreshadowing a future meta. And I'm happy because they've started cooking interestingly designed Planars. So I'll look at both of their strengths and weaknesses and then see if you should farm for them and who they're good for. So like and sub if this video helps, and let's begin. So let's see the Planars. First we have Lushaka, the Sunken Seas. I believe this is Misha's homeworld. First effect is a 5% energy regeneration rate buff. This is now our third Planar with this 5% ERR effect, the other two being Vonwak and Penacony, so we can compare them in a bit. Now the second effect is really interesting and I hope we see more of this mechanic, just hopefully not in annoying ways. If the wearer is not the first character in the team lineup, then increase the attack of the first character in the team lineup by 12%. And there's no indication of it not stacking, so you can theoretically get 36% attack on your first slot's character. So now we have positioning to further increase team building complexity. Well, this one is super simple, but I can see the future where you have to play some 4D chess. Maybe we'll get a harmony that gives buffs that change depending on where they are in the team lineup, or where you are. Maybe a dot unit that changes elements depending on their spot. Exciting. So are these buffs any good? 5% energy regeneration rate is nice to have in your back pocket, but it's rarely a benefit outside of specific rotations that have them in mind. Remember, a skill's 30 energy with this regen rate is only giving 1.5 extra energy. Good luck hitting your 120 old cost with that one. Let's take for example two units, one that uses 5% energy Planars for their rotation and one that doesn't, those being Rame and Bronya. Rame with cogs or memories S5 and an energy rope with a skill basic will hit 126.6 energy. We are 4 energy off. This can be achieved of course from being hit, but the point is to guarantee it. With 5% energy Planar we take all of that and add a tiny increase, but that increase gives us just enough for her 130 energy cost. This is when 5% energy Planars work. As for Bronya, 4 skills gets her to her energy cost of 120 without any energy buffs. 3 skills brings her to 95 including the ultimates 5. With an energy rope that's 113.4. With 5% energy on top she's still 2 energy off, and that's where her signature light cone instead would carry her to the 3 skill ultimate. And so 5% energy on top of her signature won't benefit her either. Don't take this as me hating on energy, I still think 5% energy is good and there are a lot of units that use it, but I also think it's overvalued sometimes. There are of course RNG cases where you can save your turn and that's valuable enough to farm for it. Yep, that's my take on the energy. Now for the attack buff, I really wish it was a tiny bit higher. But anyways, 12% attack. I plugged this into my Acheron sims from 2.1. In an Acheron Pella Silverwolf team, this 12% attack resulted in a 4.9% overall DPS increase, whereas Penacony, if it could proc, would only be a 3.4% increase, and Kill a 2.9% increase. This was with speed boots though, and attack percent boots would make Penacony stronger. The benefit of each damage stat depends on the carry and the team anyways. Like Jing Liu will not care for a sliver of attack percent with her 180% self buff. So the attack percent is nice, but remember, all of this is on one unit. Heal and Fleet work on everyone and so they are better in dual DPS setups for specifically damage amping. But of course, you can't get energy percent on these. But then also remember, this is on the first unit in the team lineup. Counter units like Clara, Yunli, and Blade all want to be placed in the center 2 slots of a team to soak up more blast hits. So this Planar set is for someone who 1. Needs the energy, 2. Is a support or a sustain, 3. For a non-counter hypercarry, and who 4. You don't already use Penacony on, which can be better, and 5. You don't need Vonwak's advance on. So yeah, let's see who could use it. Silverwolf with tutorial for Acheron or ratio hypercarry teams comes to mind first, it's pretty good there. Hela can also use it. Rame for Firefly teams works for the attack percent to break conversion, though using it on Harmony MC or Galaga over Forge or Talia would drop their personal damage by too much, so you'd only run it on those two if you needed the energy. Tingyun on Jingyuan teams or Lune teams can run it. Maybe Robin if you're banking on that 5% energy working over Fleet's buffs, but some people would love Vonwak on her too instead. Anya can use it too. Sustains with a hypercarry can sometimes use it as well, but Kill's 10% FRES is great for them too, especially for Aventurine. Maybe we'll see teams stack it up 3 times on one unit that runs speed boots. Or a step further, maybe we'll see teams stack it up on a DPS that runs attack percent boots. They could maybe run energy rope now with attack percent being diluted so much. We could see something saucy like that. Anyways, let me know what you think of the set, and now let's look at the other one. The Wondrous BananAmusement Park, an interesting name for sure. And if you look at the in-game lore on it, you'll notice a certain similarity to a square-shaped sponge. Anyways, I'm just super happy we can call a set the Banana Set. The effect is much simpler than the previous one. First, a 16% crit damage just like that, with a further 32% if the wearer has a summon on the field. Summon meta incoming, jungling and Guoba unit incoming. The only summoners we have so far are Topaz, Jingyuan, and Lingsha. Can't wait to see DPS Lingsha. 48% crit damage is the highest crit value among Planar sets, on par with Sigonia, except Sigonia literally has to stack it up throughout a fight. This set is instant. Now Topaz gamers, after farming Inert Sao Soto, Izumo, then Duran, surely we mustn't farm this set too, right? Surely we don't need to farm for a percentage of an increase. Well no, you shouldn't refarm sets for tiny increases unless you are farming for someone else on top. But anyways, time for some maths. So we have Topaz premium upgrades, Robin, Aventurine's E1, all of these contribute a lot of crit damage already. We have Poised to Bloom, Broken Kill, and sub DPS crit damage buffs on top. For Jingyuan running with Sparkle, he will have around a free 100% crit damage every turn. There are a ton of crit damage buffs in the game. So is 48% crit damage that incredible when including team buffs? Well, by reusing my facial calcs and rearranging Topaz's sets, we actually have a 2.1% DPS drop from Topaz in a Robin facial Topaz team. We have 48% crit damage versus the 25% follow-up damage and 25% crit damage from Duran. Remember, our whole kit is follow-up attacks, and again, saturation is a real thing. That damage percent is yummy. For Jingyuan, I found a 2.6% DPS increase with the Banana set over Inert Sao Soto, even with Sparkle in his team. This is because the crit damage to his whole kit is still valuable. It's not like Topaz where his whole kit is follow-ups, which lets her abuse Duran. And this difference can go higher if you don't run Sparkle, or you have incredible crit rate subs and are lacking in the other department. So I mean Jingyuan gamers, here's your new set. So just like Valorous, I think this set is mostly going to be for future units. Imagine a reverse of the recent crit damage self-buffers like Yunli and Fei Xiao. Hopefully in future summon units they give us too much crit rate and we want to stack up crit damage with this Planar set instead. It is, I guess, an okay option if you're Relic suck and you want an easy crit ratio whilst wearing a crit rate chest. And please do not run this on Bronya or Sparkle. The set's a bit disappointing because it sounds OP and buffs a unique archetype, but let's let it cook a bit, it's not its time to shine just yet. So let me know what you think of these two new planar ornaments. Worth the farm for you, or was this video bad news? I think they are both foreshadowing things, an increase in hypercarry units, and a new summon unit wave. Thank you to my amazing YouTube members, thanks for watching, and have a Guoba day.